Bienvenidos and welcome back, y'all. Game 6 between Ultra Prime and Super Gaming is now coming your way. Now, with this last game that just concluded, if you missed it, it was the epic banger OMG taking on Anyone's Legend, both previously 2-0 in the group for the day. Anyone's Legend ended up being triumphant, and they will now be exiting the group stage as the only team to advance into the playoff bracket stage. So it does mean that technically this game 6, it is for fun, and we're going to have a ball.
Yeah, I know that on official Riot broadcasts, we're not supposed to talk about Gambit at all. But, this might be a show match coming up. I'm just going to throw that one out there. So, it doesn't mean anything. We have an old man team playing. They went hard the first game. Who knows? We could see another Vlad mid that's roaming first, which was just absolutely ballistic from Xiao Xiaobao.
Oh.
Yeah, he played Vlad mid. And he went up against Aurora. He got absolutely smoked, but he walked to bot first multiple times, which you're not supposed to ever do, but he did it anyway. That's how much he balled. The neurons from the logo were activating.
Yeah, that's the old man team defying the meta and really showing the young guns what it's about, And
the young guns absolutely just fisted them, but that's fine. We're
gonna. Another way you can tell we're not an unofficial Riot broadcast. We just used fisting. But you know what? Here we are. Like we said, people. This is pretty much a glorified show match at this point. Playing for Pride for the side of Super Gaming, and for Ultra Prime, it's getting another solid rep in as they prepare for the LPL spring season in 2025. And for me and Matt, this is only my third game, but it is 4:52 in the morning, and for Matt 3:52, and his sixth game straightforward. So 0-7 to my comrade over on the right side.
I just killed the rest of my coffee at 3:50 in the morning. As I like to say, we're on Hollywood hours as things are getting interesting here. But that said, let's get to the draft of this game. Raafaa, as we're making jokes about the fact that it could be a show match. And okay, never mind. There's the Viego. Throw Cacao. We're gonna get excited here. Cacao has honestly been the best player on this team so far. Cacao has been a beast, just like he always has for every single moment in his career. He never ever had a down split. Don't even think about his time in EU. Don't worry about it. Let's give him the Viego and let Cacao go to work here. All right, that's what we're gonna do.
Cubby, I know you have really good vision, but I would have guessed that if I didn't see your webcam, you would have had rose-tinted glasses on.
No, blinders, baby. It's all about blinders. All right, and also Europe doesn't matter, so don't worry about it.
True. Ultra Prime. Junhao hovering this Yone potentially for Saber. I don't know if this would also be a flex option for Wenjiang in the top lane. I guess depending on the matchup, I'm not familiar with how well Yone blind works for top lane, but it's been so effective in the mid lane in the past few months of the competitive landscape. That's where I imagine Saber's going to be piloting it. Wako with the Ashe walk in. Ashe Zyra, even though this is more than likely a Zyra jungle for Junhao, we know how strong this combo is with the CC and the amount of disengage that you have. And for Xiao Caobao,
also, I'm also about it. Also, I hate how you just pronounced his name perfectly when I've been like spamming reps of Xiao Xiaobao in the background because I cannot say this thing for the life of me.
Play Dynasty Warriors growing up as a kid.
Yeah.
And, you'll get some Chinese name pronunciation down pretty quick.
Well, I got some work to do here, but hey, Xiao Xiaobao in his second game did pilot the Akali and actually was really good with Cacao. It was the playmakers as him on the Akali and Cacao on the Nocturne were the ones really pressuring the enemy Corki. So this time around, we'll see if he's able to put together another good Akali performance. And Raafaa, I gotta say, if you want to get a little bit creative, usually we have Longshin on weak side top laners is traditionally what we know him for in his career.
Yeah.
I see Akali. I see Viego. I'm thinking Sejuani top. We're getting out there. I'm throwing that out there. Sejuani Viego, old school combo. Maybe.
Yeah. Or if you want to get really crazy and really subject Cacao to tank burden, give him the Sejuani, and then flex the Viego to a solo lane. Hey, man, they buffed the numbers. They made lane Viego viable. It's viable. Is it strong? Probably not.
I've seen the first. Oh, I will. Actually, no, you can play Sejuani in the Nara pretty easily. I will say I've seen 2 games of Super Gaming, and Kakao must be on a carry for them to have any chance to win. That's my diagnosis. Also, a little bit of selfish bias. Also, seeing Kakao play Nocturne, I definitely fanboyed a little bit in that one, but you know.
Definitely a little bit of nostalgia, I imagine, for you.
Oh, dude, I fell asleep during that final because I was back in high school there, so I couldn't stay up for all of it, but I did stay up to watch a game and a half.
Oh man, are we talking like season 3 KT Rolster days?
No, it's season 4. KT Arrows versus Samsung Blue, one of the biggest upsets in league history at that point. One of the best finals, one of the best of fives of all time. I swear to God, when I saw that was a huge upset, and Kakao was an absolute monster in that series, especially on the Nocturne. So, shout out to him, going way back, and also shout out to Puff trying to play better than what we've seen from him so far. So, yeah.
I've heard some rumors around the River Bend that you've been slowly deteriorating over some Puff play.
All I'm saying is that I went 14-4 on Smolder the last time I played AD in my Emerald 1 game, and Puff might want to stick to easier champs like Smolder. So.
Oh my goodness. Damn.
That said, he's got Corki Radana, not a combo that I am exactly I know or am familiar with, but Radana brings a lot of value this game, and again, into the Jax, into the Yone, into the Rel, can cancel some of the dismounts that we have, so good peel for Puff and for Kakao is going to try and get those resets. Radana, Cassante can really hold the line against Jax Yone, and if Cassante gets ahead of all, getting Iceborne Gauntlet early can enable him to side then against both Jax and Yone. Could be big this game.
I like the call out there, since this was saved to counter pick for support 694, being able to stop a potential Rel engage with a well-timed handshake, since the crash down is very telegraphed, especially if you don't get the Shattering Strike preemptively to set up the knock up there. But like we said at the top of this draft phase, this is glorified show match. Ultra Prime, obviously, you're going to be, playing as well as possible. This is just, another chance for them to play, technically a stage match. This is all, remote, but, any reps that you can get in with this team before the start of the 2025 competitive season is a game worth playing. And for Super Gaming, they're here to have the ball. And if Kakao can at least get one last banger performance, especially on a carry champion like Viego, then we're in for a good time.
This guy still has got game. I'm convinced. But yeah, excited to see this one, as we'll have to see if Up can put together better games, because frankly, they've been really desynced. The first 2 outings that we've seen.
Yeah.
Of course, some pieces from the Up dev roster, and also some pieces from a PCS roster with both Wenjiang and Wako coming from the same team. So we'll see if they can step up and perform in this one, as we're on the riff for our last game of the group stage for Demacia Cup.
Vamos! If I could read Mandarin, I would love to tell you what they're
probably Chibi. For TFT.
Advertising. Oh, you know what? I should have been able to put that together. Sorry to all my fellow TFT fans for not being completely based as F, and knowing that is the Chibi Jinx for TFT. Set's been fun, actually. I know you and I have been playing a little bit of it. A lot of our co-casters, Mazel and Alk Battery, we've played with them too, and we've been enjoying the set a lot.
Yeah, I got the goal. It's been okay.
Oh, nice. Me too. Hell yeah, bro.
I feel like I can walk into there, though.
Look at your webcam real quick. Dap me up, bro. Yeah. You guys couldn't see it, but we, remotely dapped each other up.
Well, speaking of not being able to see, Rasulov stepping up, and Saber going to sneak in here unseen, as we were setting this one up as a potential show match, and Raafaa, we got a lane swap.
Wait, is Wako gonna go mid lane here? Oh my, this is crazy!
This is a
wild rift tech! Seeing a bot lane go mid lane, so we have a 2v1 in the mid lane. I mean, Xiao Taobao hates his life right now. I mean, what are you supposed to do?
He started W! He started W just to be in range, as he took that much damage early on. Really rough start. Also, he didn't even go D-Shield. He went D-Ring to try and win the matchup, as Kakao hasn't even started the camp yet. I don't know what's going on here, as Zyra's already taken 2.
Yeah, what happened? I don't know if Kakao was we weren't looking at the mini map, but somehow Kakao was in a position where he couldn't already be on a camp, or maybe the threat of Rossi Love. Oh no, no, no. Hang on. Backtrack. Memory overtime. They spotted. Okay, they didn't necessarily spot Kakao on the top side of the map, but we saw as the audience Kakao trying to start on the top side of the map.
Yeah, he
But
got pushed
Wako
out.
and Rossi Love walking in, forcing him towards the bottom side of the map. So it was a delayed start for the Viego, and the fact that Xiao Cao Bao is laning in a 2v1, Rossi Love gets to early roam and go for a little bit of
Oh
a deterrence
man.
play, and now Kakao is going to be forced off of his top side of the map because Junhao has already completed a majority of his camps. He's still
It's a
somehow
three
level 2.
quadrant.
I wonder if he missed one of the Krugs there on his way out, trying to leave as fast as possible. But as soon as he gets one of these Raptors, Kakao is going to be very sad, and he has a plant set up. He's going to lock him down. The Electrocute is going to get a nice chunk of damage off of Kakao's
Yeah.
HP, and now Kakao doesn't even get to play the game.
This is just a brutal start for Super Gaming and Kakao, as it's going to be more like sleeper gaming for him, as he's only going to get one quadrant of the first 4 in the jungle. Zyra, with the Ashe and the Rel mid into Akali, destroying the early jungle clear, and any hopes for Kakao to actually be a carry in at least this early game. He's going to have some big plays to come back, and meanwhile, Kakao's going to look to get creative here. Potential angle onto Saber.
The one thing that he could do is try to look for this crab, smite it, and get the hell out over on the top side of the map. He should be able to get the crab. Rossi is going to. Oh yeah, he's forced to potentially execute himself so that he doesn't give any first blood credit. Saber trying to see if he can get enraged, maybe a flash W for the sweep, but Kakao will just die to the turret. So no official first blood gold going over to anyone yet.
Yeah, but you know what he gets from this? A double crab.
Yep.
Probably. It looks like Zyra's going to clean up the rest of her camp. She's got respawns on her other side of the jungle, too. So Kakao actually going to find a little 2-for-1. But a really nice opener here from Up, as it got Yone out of a tough lane phase into the Akali, especially early on. In turn, they got a good matchup for Yone into the Cassante, where he's not really pressured, especially with the grasp, which makes it a little bit easier to lane in matchups like this. And then Akali just getting straight up bullied by the Ashe in the early game. Really nice lane setup for Up. Is going to really make sure that Ultra Prime's off to a good start.
You know, when Super Gaming opted in for this tournament, I imagine that they thought, you know what, we're going to try our best, we're going to have a good time, and then going especially into Game 6, you know, Ultra Prime might do something funny. This is not funny for the side of Super Gaming. This is torture. Now, for Xiao Cao Bao, completely put behind almost 20 CS to his counterpart Saber, who's been, you know, having a blast just farming away against the Cassante matchup. And Zhang somehow not falling that far behind in terms of CS compared to his counterpart against Puff and 694 on this Jax.
I mean, Corki Renata is a lane. Renata definitely being chosen for what she can bring to the fights, and that Counter-Strike going up against double range, working a little bit of extra mileage, is Jax able to absorb all the XP. A lot of the CS will be a tad behind against Longshin, who was able to get back into this lane first, but as the lanes reset, we do have the bot lane top, and it feels like Ultra Prime have leads everywhere.
You know, there's not a devastatingly gold advantage. In fact, the gold is kind of even for the most part. But when you look at certain lane matchups,
Kakao!
No,
My goat.
I don't know if you saw what I saw, Matt, but I think Junhao smited the wrong grub.
Yeah, it's still a 2-for-1 because they just cannot contend with the pressure that Ashe Zyra brings this early. But the fact that they got one, good play from Kakao, frankly.
Yeah, that it might have been a little panic from Junhao because he knew that Kakao was in the area thanks to using the E for the miss. Now, Rossi Love trying to set up that engage for Wako. A lot of damage being traded back onto the AD carry for Ultra Prime, Puff, and 694. Just making sure they're holding up the pressure on Kakao. You know, the early start was not super fun for, you know, any jungle main to be in that position. I know I was pulling my hair out if I had to be in that position as Viego, but he's recovered decently well. You know what? Cacao has been through the trenches in his, long and historic career. So, something cheeky like this, not keeping him down, and even trying to look for some pressure plays on this top side of the map. Doesn't find anything with Rozzy Love and Wako getting this crash in, but just ensuring that Puff and 694 are not completely pressured out.
I'm not sure how Renata's down 2 levels to Rel, but that also is a thing that just exists in this game. Been a lot of walk-ins so far for 694.
Especially considering that Rozzy Love spent a majority of his time early game, roaming.
Yeah, this is a puzzling one for me, but
Impressive.
regardless, Cacao gonna manage to get another crab, still clearing out his jungle. Zyra is ahead, has a bit of a lead, but we'll see if anyone sets their sights onto the dragon. At the moment, my sights are on Wako on the Ashe, was walking towards the mid lane. I'm gonna go back towards the top lane. We'll say Super Gaming. Oh, okay. Spotted out there with a hawk shot. Nice delay of tempo here. I was about to say, they had a chance to actually get a clean reset in and maybe push for this dragon, especially with Ashe showing on the top side. But Rozzy Love being a real pain in the ass here for Puff, forcing him further and further back.
Just delaying the time that Puff would want to get a potential buy-in. Looks like he's just getting a couple long swords for himself. He's already picked up a tier and a sheen, so decent trading abilities and getting that more mana, eventually starting to stack up a bit. Still, pretty even state game, despite all of the funky lane assignments we saw at the first start of the few minutes of this game. Cacao looping around for Wanjiang, still has available to flash, looks for the flash, clean from Cacao and Longsha, and it's first blood for Super Gaming.
That setup was fantastic. Meanwhile, that connected.
Using the perfect execution just to clear up the minion wave and get in range of this tower so that he was safe, and he just completely takes out a majority of the gold and the experience that was being pressured by the side of Ultra Prime. I don't know if Cao Bao wants to stay under this tower. Saber could be in trouble, dodging and using the Fate Seal to escape the clutches of 694 before he and Puff could lock him down. And the rest of Ultra Prime are going to have to respect the teleport from Longsha, making his way towards the top side of the map. As now Super Gaming, you know what? A respectable way that they are answering back in the game so far.
Things are not all that bad. And, man, that play from Longshan and Cacao, the ult from Cassante into the stun from Viego, hella clean. Couldn't do that any better myself. I couldn't ask for anything better myself. As
if
very
you
well
want to try that later on, and
nope, not doable for me.
Okay.
At the moment, though, we do have Longshan. When you get early Iceborne, you do have the chance to actually answer Yone and Jax at this point of the game. So the fact that he has access to that, very important. It's just a bummer that he's going up against Ashe. I like the decision to put Ashe into Cassante, because if Cassante is into either Yone or Jax at this point, chance for Cassante to pressure that lane the way that we saw him pressure the bot side.
Not gonna lie, I blacked out for a second. No notes. Very mindful, very demure. Ultra Prime. This is my very awkward transition. We're going into second rotation of Grubs here as Junhao.
No contest.
Yep. No answer from the side of Super Gaming, but you can't contest for everything, and you gotta be thankful for the plays that you are able to make. Cacao down a flash. Not willing to risk his life just to stop those grubs from being taken. I want to see where Super Gaming's next set piece is going to be, though. There are still some pretty nice ultimates to use. Cao Bao, anytime with the perfect execution, does have assassination threat onto a squishy like Wako. However, with Flash and Barrier at the ready and no Ignite, I think it would be very difficult to pull that off as a solo man play. So far for now, Super Gaming just letting the solo lanes cook in the meantime and collect some CS.
Yeah, I do want to see Ultra Prime trying to overload aside of being 5-1 Grubs at the moment. We did not see them do this successfully with Ziggs earlier on in the day. So would love to see them do it successfully here against Super Gaming. I apologize. That was OMG that did not successfully snowball it from earlier. But again, when you have grub advantage like this, just go play into the lane that lacks wave clear. In this case, I think it's smart. They sent a Cubby top. Given the fact that Ash showed bottom, they need to rush bot, though, because it looks like Ultra Prime's doing this correctly. If they get mid-prio here and just 4-man the bot side, will be 3 plates and potentially even a first turret with 5 grubs before the side Ultra Prime.
Waco already building up this big wave for the crash. Looks like it's going to be Longshot with the assistance of 694 trying to pick up this wave and defend the turret. First plate goes down, second will be picked up shortly as well. But the rest of Super Gaming, the fact that their presence is starting to make their way down here, shows that Ultra Prime have to keep their distance, respect the space that Super Gaming is currently holding at the moment. And so far, turret plates will be protected at the moment.
Yeah.
Unless they want to send Saber on the bottom side of the map as well.
It's a good hover so far, and works of having Cassante be ahead early as a fight breaks out. TP coming in. Super
Gaming. That's going to forward Ultra Prime away. They got to teleport Summoner Spell out from Tal Tal Bao, but that does now open up the top side of the map to get taken by Wanjiang.
And that's a Jack, so that's going to be taken rather fast as Wanjiang, fantastic Jax player from the PCS, got his hands on it this game, and this turret should go over to him rather easily. No TPs available for Ultra Prime to respond, and that will be first brick for Ultra Prime secured as Super Gaming. No response from them.
Sheesh. 725 gold for a Jax.
Yeah.
And I imagine with Sheen and the Hearthbound Axe already completed, that this Trinity Force should be picked up on the next buy. The arrow, does Saber want to look for it? He's already under tower, so he's just going to go in for a quick chunk, proc the grasp. Wanjiang might be in trouble, trying to walk over to the wall so he can flash, and then he dodges out by Fleep, striking back to the minion wave, and one, oh boy, Longsha, a little sheepish, trying to flash back in pursuit. But I feel for Longsha, trying to set up that play, burns the flash, doesn't get anything out of it anyway, and Wanjiang makes a pretty nice escape.
I always said Wanjiang is a good Jax player and looked pretty experienced there, has made that one look easy, and I really didn't like that TP earlier on from Xiao Xiao Bao, because it put the Akali into the lane that UP were trying to pressure. And with Ash being down there, I just meant war of attrition. Akali loses out over time. Free turret going on over. Will be Ultra Prime likely setting up now mid or top, or is mid's the last outer? They have the knockdown. Top would be to play away from this dragon as Kakao has snuck in here over vision, but looks to be securing the second drink of the game for Super Gaming. So decent answer here from Kakao, but of course the grubs and the pressure from Ultra Prime just a little bit too much for Super Gaming to handle.
Yeah, and for Super Gaming, these teleports have to be the more important plays that they make, because when you look at their composition, what tools do you have to engage? Not really anything. You don't have an Ash Arrow, you don't have a Maokai ultimate, you know, you're relying on flanks from your two solo laners to get into the backline and cause a lot of disruption. The only way you're going to be able to do that without, you know, proper vision set up is if the rest of Ultra Prime is overextended, and then you have these teleports and you have these long extending flanks trying to wind their way around. I imagine that that's what Super Gaming was hoping for, but they weren't close to being that overextended, as Wako just throws an arrow to Puff's face, stuns him under the tower, but totally okay. I think that just buys space for Wako to clear out this minion wave so they can rotate over to the second rotation of grubs. But, you know, this is what Super Gaming is going to have to be super conscious of, is just how and when they pull the trigger on those teleport flanks to make sure that Ultra Prime are actually overextended enough to make those plays happen.
Honestly, I just can't believe how seriously we're talking about this game. I did not expect this kind of game.
You know what? You're right. Thank you for bringing me back down to earth.
Yeah, each team's playing like it's for their lives, which tactically it is for pride going into the groups without, you know, hoping to drop games. Oh, Kakao.
Face checks the Jax, throws up the helicopter staff, you know, and just walks away. Saved myself there. Definitely wanted to say something different, but Ultra Prime just gonna maintain full.
Not flower stream. Well, moving forward, Puff in the mid lane gonna continue to clear out, as we did see the arrow fly from Wako recently. But this game continues to be as boring as I was hoping it wouldn't be.
You know, Super Gaming had the one really clean play between Kakao and Longsha, and it's at least a nice way to make things interesting. But Ultra Prime have been playing a pretty stock standard, very clean macro game, using the advantage of the Void Grubs and just playing off of the disgusting farm advantage you can get when you have something like a Zyra jungle, super accelerated thanks to the way they played the early game.
So I will say, day one of groups, the circle of suck for Team Blood, and how bad like the teams that beat Team Blood actually dictated who won the group, which was Thunder Talk. I did say earlier on that I wasn't super impressed with the competition that anyone's Legends had to face. And the fact we're playing the old man team this slow and this cautious from both OMG and Ultra Prime, I feel like speaks to that.
Putting some respect on the legends of the yesterday, I guess you can say.
I feel like you should be more disrespectful, but, you know, that's fine. I'm not, except for Cacao, of course. You gotta respect Cacao. This guy's still a baller. They respected Cacao so much, they set up an entire strategy to 3-quadrant him, level 1.
And he's still not massively that far behind. You know? So
he's just that much of a baller.
Yeah, I mean, Cacao, my goat. Rest of Super Gaming just holding on to what they can. Goal deficit not insanely large for them to overmount and overcome.
He's fine.
Did Junhao steal that?
No, of course he did.
Oh,
it's Cacao.
Based.
Yeah, went over to him. He smited him.
That can always be frustrating, you know, and it's just like, you know, not the end of the world, but, you know, as you're trying to grab the resources, whatever you can, and just telling your team, hang on, guys, I can carry this game. This motherfucking Zyra just stole my Krugs, you know, but, you know.
Yeah, I will say, when I saw Viego early picked, I really thought it wouldn't be something like Renata bot, because usually you want some setup for Viego.
Yeah.
Like Cassandra, you know, option here. It didn't exist as hostile takeover. That goes wide.
Well, yeah, kind of hard. Oh, hang on. This is what I was talking about. Cao Cao Bao. Good teleport flank. Finds the backline, but he gets locked down before he can get anything else off, using the perfect execution second cast just to escape. And when you're using it as an escape tool, it doesn't feel so great as the Akali. And Super Gaming now on the back foot. Saber pushing forward with the ranks of Ultra Prime. And great all out from Longshot, pulling Rozzy Love over the wall. And somehow Super Gaming making out no deaths and one kill on their side.
Gold Ben, they got a kill. Actually, well played there from Longshu, who was able to, of course, ult Rozzy Love back. And also the escape there from Xiao Bao, enabled by the Mikhails of 694. So while the ult wasn't great, the Mikhails was sound, ends up getting the Akali out of there. And what was, honestly, a really nice lockup here from Ultra Prime as we get the replay. Akali can't move thanks to Rozzy Love and Saber. But the Mikhails and the ult out gets Akali out just barely. Then the kite from there. Good cancel on the hop there from Longshin, who ended up having a really good fight. He's been really good on the Kasante in both games. We'll see if he can step up again in this one. His ults are down, but the dragon is up, and Super Gaming's looking for it.
And they are already up 2 dragons, so if they manage to clutch this one out, this would put them at soul point. Teleport in for Ultra Prime. It's Saber joining the fight. Cacao and the rest of Super Gaming push back into the safety of their blue buff jungle quadrant. Wanjiang trying to pressure with the right side of the flank.
Yeah, Sweeper saw Jax as Saber goes in, gets the Valkyrie puff. Well played. Cacao gonna have to choose a side of the fight to take, as they're kind of waiting for ults to get back up. Hostile takeover's up in 7. Maybe that's what they're waiting for.
Already below 6,000 HP on the Ocean Dragon. Cao Cao Bao looking for the flank once again. Holy moly, Longshot just gets popped like a balloon. And Cao Cao Bao does find Junhao. The smite is available for Cacao. Soul point for Super Gaming. Well done by the assassin from Super Gaming, but Saber is still alive on the Yone, and he Kimbo slices them back into Swiss cheese. My goodness, Super Gaming completely wiped off the map.
I actually thought that Cacao and Xiao Bao could have turned that one, but the flash from Saber was sound, got him out of the stun. The combo coming out of Cacao on the Viego. That's going to mean that Baron goes over to the side of Ultra Prime. So while still point was secured, not enough to take the fight. And Ultra Prime, the favorites going into this game, going to get their first big piece in terms of making sure this game goes in their favor.
And the Baron is getting burned down fast enough that not even 694 potentially roaming over to the Baron pit, looking for a cheeky steal with some ranged Renata ability. No steal is going to happen. Let's take a look back at that fight once again.
Yeah, just Longshin got locked up, and Xiao Bao on a really good angle onto the Zyra, but Puff just zoned out of this fight completely. Oh no, he hit the word. Okay, yeah, he gets melted here by the Jax. Meanwhile, other side of the fight, though, I want to see... Oh, we didn't catch the combo. It was a really, really sound flash from Saber, as when Akali went back in, Kakao went for the W flash, or just the W play, to try and lock up Yone, but the the E, and then the flash from Yone did create enough space to dodge out on the stun, dodge out on the combo from Kakao. He was able to walk away with the dragon, but nothing else.
Silver lining, Matt, they're on soul point. So
silver lining, Kakao found the smite steal. He's still the GOAT.
I mean,
a flash was needed to outplay Kakao's skill shot, which means that he's not totally washed up, you know.
True. You know, Kakao still got hands. You know,
yeah, no, he's kind of balling still.
Yeah. I mean, it was a good tag team effort from him and Cao Cao Bao, since they took out Junhao before the dragon was in smite range, so that it did make Kakao's life easier, but still an impressive feat nonetheless. And for Super Gaming, that's kind of all they have to work with. They're now down 5,000 gold, Baron buff, and still the grubs on the side of Ultra Prime. So anytime they get a chance to walk up to this turret and put some damage into it, it is going to get completely melted down. Longsha tanks the Shattering Strike. Here comes the Renata ultimate, trying to separate the fight here. Teleport coming in for Ultra Prime, but Kakao finds the first reset, but it's on the Zyra, and you're squishy as hell, so you're going to get popped. And Wako is able to handle himself just fine against Cao Cao Bao. The assassin will not have his day today. Trying from Longsha to escape as he finds Saber on the back half and just dodging one more, but it's not going to work. Wait a minute! Dance the style on top of the Wanjiang, almost burned out of the fight. I'm super impressed that Longsha was able to survive that long under the tower, as now he might just look for Raafaa, as Wanjiang is going to 0-7 for his comrade. No, don't leave back in, brother. There's nothing you can do to save your comrade. He's already gone. And Super Gaming, they're holding on.
Nice fight from Longshan, but also want to praise Wako, who, yes, Kakao got locked up after he became Zyra, but that was a pixel-perfect Enchanted Crystal Arrow, as we're going to get the replay. All this fight was really about Longshan, though, on the K'Sante. As started it, not bad. The hostile takeover ends up catching two. Really well done. Yes, Zyra gets knocked up, but watch this ECA coming out of Wako. Frame perfect to find Kakao there. Make sure that he falls. Good kiting from Wako as well with the help of Rasulov to make sure that he gets out of there. And that is just the K'Sante show. I thought Saber almost outplayed this. Nice buffer there on the Q3, but the auto connected, and then we saw Longshan kite that went out, lean on the Doran shield and the health regen that K'Sante has in his kit and in this build to sustain through that. And we'll see if K'Sante can continue to be a problem in these fights, because if he can stall enough time for Kakao to get a reset, if that is the given scenario, again, could be exactly what Super Gaming need to actually get back into this game.
Two things also as takeaway from that fight. One, after the dragon fight where Longsha got immediately popped, he took that personally. He was on a mission to absolutely wreck Ultra Prime's day. And the second, I think Kakao, as great as he is, wait, hang on. Ultra Prime almost caught there. Longsha trying to set up the play onto Wako. Cao Cao Bao doesn't land the Shuriken Strike. The perfect execution is not going to be enough to threaten. Had he landed the E, it might have been a different story, but Ultra Prime gonna be saving their 80 carry for another day. As the rest of Ultra Prime now disengaged safely away from Super Gaming, and Ocean Soul is about to come up, and they're down their mid laner.
And no TP for Xiao Xiao Bao too, so this Ocean Dragon likely going to go over to Ultra Prime, preventing Ocean Soul for the moment. But man, that was close. I mean, if the E connects, that's one thing. He also ulted to get out of the Enchanted Crystal Arrow, which was well played. And if any other damage came in, maybe he gets the bailout, but none of those things happened, and instead, it is Ultra Prime taking control of the Dragon and securing it for themselves.
Good stuff by Ultra Prime. The solo laners just being bodyguards and making sure that Super Gaming can't get into the club. Ocean Soul denied for now. It's the first dragon picked up for the side of Ultra Prime, as they are able to effectively delay potential doomsday scenario and the one timeline where Super Gaming can pull out a win despite being down 7,000 gold.
Alright, well, Ultra Prime going to set their sights on the top side this time around. A couple bot fights, they're a little bit tricky. Maybe didn't go as convincingly the way that they wanted to. But maybe top side. There's a little bit different fortune for them, as I am really grasping at straws of what to talk about in this game, Raafaa, if I'm talking about whether we're going to do bot side or top side based on how the last fight went.
True.
But, you know.
Just depends on your preference.
Here we are.
Ah, you missed it.
Nope, I refuse to acknowledge that.
It's late hours, y'all.
Definitely didn't miss it. I just refused to acknowledge it.
You just made sure. Anyway.
Yep. Wako.
Ash Arrow connects. Longsha. I don't know if he was supposed to be the receiver of that Mikhail's Crucible. I'm gonna keep it 100. But you know what? No one from Super Gaming is effectively hurt, but Wanjiang is bought a lot of time thanks to the engage by Ultra Prime to take the inner tower on the bottom side of the map. And now Ultra Prime pressuring, but Fate Field lands on the Cacao, forced to flash away. Still has the Heartbreaker in case he needs it for another reset or for a escape tool. Rozzy Love getting pressured out by Longsha.
Good hostile takeover.
All out. And now Super Gaming, they've teleported in Xiao Cao Bao, maybe looking for a turn, but Wanjiang finds himself into the backline. Counter-strike, helicopter dong in the air. Puff might just go down, but wait a minute. The rest of Super Gaming corralling around their AD carry to make sure that he doesn't go down. Xiao Cao Bao now in danger, tries to go in with the perfect execution using the second cast to get out. Longsha falls, Cacao is next, and the rest of Ultra Prime stand triumphant in the own jungle of Super Gaming.
And that was a massive hostile takeover coming out of 694, but just no follow-up on the back half, and Ultra Prime, that angle from Wanjiang looked aggressive with the Zanyas, with the flash, and with the counter-strikes, able to make sure that he bought his team the space they needed to win that fight, and now looking for the end.
28 minutes, 35 seconds. Super Gaming still have access to 3 of their members, but Ultra Prime have all 5. They're pushing in through the mid lane. They take out the inhibitor in swift manner. On the top side, Saber's already pushing in the wave so that they can look potentially for another. But the rest of Super Gaming, their jungler and top laner spawning in the next few seconds, so no more sieging will occur for now for Ultra Prime. They'll take their leave after already taking the middle inhibitor, but we're going to take a look back at that replay.
Good catch on a Cacao to start. The health bars were so good for Ultra Prime at the start of this, just given all the free damage they got, but this hostile takeover nearly turned things. It was massive, just Puff, Cacao not quite able to follow up on that. Xiao Bao was also stuck in the back half, and then Wanjiang coming in, bought so much space. That flash counter-strike, nearly getting Puff to go down, did have the Zanyas to buy time, got out of the ultimate from Cacao from that too, had some help from Junhao as well in the back half to make sure he had the space to navigate his way out of that. Really good angle from Wanjiang, using all the tools he had available at his disposal to make sure that fight was easy for the rest of his team in Ultra Prime.
And now the Baron is the play. Ultra Prime have a pretty aggressive vision set up, but, you know, props to Super Gaming. They are able to fight their way back into the jungle quadrant, and Ultra Prime starting to see if they want to peel off here. It's still 5,000 HP. The Zyra plants are taking up the majority of it, but the Baron is now reset. They look for the turn. Ash Arrow on the Longsha. Dashes forward aggressively. Now needs to make his way out of there. Wanjiang threatening on the right side with a flank. Counter-strike in the air. Throws it up. Gets the stun down on the Longsha. Gets knocked in. Good ulti by Junhao, being able to throw it in. Saber with the follow-up. Fate Seal by 694. And now Cacao, it's all on him to find the reset. Wanjiang. Puff is still alive. Wait a minute, Saber's gone. Cacao has the Heartbreaker to get out alive. Longsha could still be in trouble, but this is still playable for Super Gaming. But a lot of low health bars, and Wako finds his moment, flashing forward. Gets the slow down with the volley. The arrows, they're piercing into Longsha's back, and they're slowing him down just enough for Wako to take him out. Xiao Cao Bao could be next. But the rest of Ultra Prime, they don't have enough movement speed, they don't have enough engaged tools to find any other stragglers from the side of Super Gaming, but a statement fight from the side of Ultra Prime.
Yeah, honestly, that was close. Cacao, he ulted to make sure he got that first reset, but I don't, if he doesn't do that, he has 2 ults available, and I think that might have been the difference in that fight, and him being able to follow up on the rest of it. As for a moment there, Super Gaming looked like they could have won that one.
It was so playable. I mean, anytime you get to this late game scenario, Matt, with a Viego on your team, any fight is so winnable. And you could see the gears turning for Cacao. You could see that he was calculating, how can I play this fight out and completely 1v9 it.
Yeah, Puff played this fight really nicely, too, as they were able to get Saber in the back half. Yeah, that ult from Cacao to get the first soul. There, he's stuck. If he doesn't do that, then he has 2 ults to try and chase the Zyra. Instead, has to go back. And those health bars, I know Saber went down, but between him and Wako cooking at the start of the fight, they were able to get the health bars of Super Gaming low enough where they couldn't continue the fight, even though they had the numbers. So just the 2 for 2 in the end.
It's enough for Ultra Prime to pressure Super Gaming off, but for Super Gaming's credit, the Baron was not taken, and there was not enough time for Ultra Prime to look for the objective at the end of the fight. Everyone had to get a chance to reset in. And now Super Gaming, we're back to square one, trying to fight their way back into the vision, or the river for vision control. And
for Team Old Man,
yeah,
it's been decent. This is the longest that any team has lasted between Super Gaming and Team Blood from the two teams from the Legends Cup.
I mean, props to the Old Man team for keeping up their endurance. You know.
Yeah, they're not doing too bad in this one. Even Game 6 of the night doesn't matter a lot, but meanwhile, potentially another fight in mid. This is where the slows from Ashe get to be very painful. As Ultra Prime force Super Gaming back, and will recede to Fog as they try and control this Baron.
Oh, that's a lot of damage. I mean, Longshot's the tank, but Zyra at this stage of the game hurts so much if you get caught by any of these plants. A lot of the max HP percentage burn and the high base damage off of these plants once they get empowered is now Junhao and Wako turning onto the Baron. Complete vision control of this river entrance from the red buff quadrant. Xiao Taobao is going to enter first to see if he can try and poke his way through. Cacao popping the miss. They have to go through this control ward. It's already 3,000, 1,000 HP. Baron is secured for Junhao, and Saber locks up 2 on the back half of it. 694 trying to make his way out. Xiao Taobao. Oh no, the plants! The Leandri's burn! And Wanzhong hits him over the head with the lamppost. Here comes Longshot, tries to equalize the fight, but gets nothing for it. Junhao still staying alive, and the rest of Super Gaming has fallen from the top side on. Puff and 694 escape with their lives, but I don't think a 2-man defense is going to be enough to stop Ultra Prime from taking this game.
No, it was the opener of the fight. The Tempered Fate from Saber sealed the fate of Super Gaming as he found 3, got Cacao immediately, and off the back of that, Baron, Ultra Prime would end this game with a victory.
With that, Wanzhong throws up the helicopter dong one more time. Puff trying to get the cleanse out to dodge the stun. Good handshake, tries to pull Wanzhong into the fountain laser, but not far enough. And ladies and gentlemen, GG, well played for Ultra Prime. They close out their group stage run with a 2-1.
Shout out to Super Gaming, who had a noble run that time around, as the Legends did a little bit better than Team Blood, who managed to win that tournament over them. But always fun seeing Cacao in action, and frankly, that game was a lot closer and a lot more interesting than what we expected. We were kind of expecting show match vibes. Not even close.
My bad. I said 2-1. I think I meant 1-2 for Ultra Prime. My mistake.
You're just used to seeing them win the best of 3s from LCS, you know?
True.
Yeah,
you know, I just assumed that, you know what, this was the match of their lifetime, and they were able to make it out. You know, props to Super Gaming for, like you said, the endurance, keeping it up without need for any stimulants or whatever. But for the side of Ultra Prime, good showing from them, and it's a way for them to build up some confidence, as this is their last stage game before we head into the LPL spring competitive season for 2025. Obviously, we'll be rolling through the credits of the highlight montage reel. We'll be rolling through, you know, who the MVP was. But I want to get a head start, Cubby, on, you know, getting some early previews of what the playoff bracket stage is going to look like. And for those who missed the first 3 stages of, or the first 3 days of the group stage, we're going to do a quick little recap. Give me 1 second. I have some copy. You know, I'm not doing this off the dome. I'm not that impressive.
I mean, we can wrap up this game while you pull that one up, as we're gonna get the post match. And
here we go.
I will say, Zyra damage versus Viego in that opener for Junhao ended up having a really good performance in this game, as Cal was never really able to get into it. And shout out to Puff. I know I bullied Puff a little bit on the Ashe the first 2 games, but Puff was quite good. I didn't have to break out my player hating degree for that one, so well done. Again, Super Gaming, very noble performance from them, being from the Legends Cup, and congrats to Ultra Prime, who won 2, not exactly what they were looking for in this group, but hey, did win the game they were supposed to win.
My narrative is that Puff just stepped it up for you in this game. He wanted to make it proud.
The copy of me flaming him, you know, it got to him, and he really wanted to make sure that, you know, I shut up. So that's the narrative, right?
Yep.
Yeah. All right.
That works for me. One last look at some of the stats from both sides of the team. I mean,
good damage.
Yeah. Really good damage.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. I win.
Get into the copy, Rafa. What do you have to read for us here?
There we go. All right. For the prior 3 days of the game, hang on. Let's run this through. Week 1 recap for anyone that missed on the first 4 days of the Demacia Cup. The 2024 Demacia Cup group stage has concluded, with the rising stars of each group set to move on to the semifinals. Edward Gaming from Group A, Anyone's Legend, Group B, Thunder Talk Gaming from Group C, and Invictus Gaming from Group D proved themselves worthy of continuing their journey to be crowned Kings of Demacia.
Let me take day 1 here.
Okay.
I was on for this one, all right? Day 1, Thunder Talk Gaming delivered a decisive victory over JD Gaming, the favored team in Group C. Upsets raised concerns about JD Gaming's coordination and consistency as they got 1-2 Cancun, suggesting that their roster might feel like a sleeping giant in the upcoming season. Thunder Talk's success highlights their bot lane 1xN and Feather, who exhibited exceptional synergy. Additionally, their new Korean mid laner Satab, recently acquired from LCK Challenger Scene, showcased promising talent, someone to keep an eye out for in the 2025 season, featured a killing 1v3 on Akali against JD Gaming as well.
Moving on to day 2, Group A featured a blend of legacy organizations and emerging talent from the LDL. LGD, with a roster comprising of 3 promoted players from their LDL team, showcased decisiveness by defeating BLGJ and engaging in close matches against EDG and FPX. Their efforts contributed to FPX's 0-3 record in the group. The last match between EDG and BLGJ determined the group's outcome, where EDG's LPL experience put them to a massive advantage, leading to a dominant performance over BLG's Academy team. A player to look out for at EDG's roster is the support Wink, who delivered exceptional engages, facilitating the team's strategic execution.
Yeah, day 3, Invictus Gaming showed their star-studded roster by delivering a decisive victory over Royal Never Give Up in just 16 minutes, and we saw the return of the Shy, who did look like the Shy. The match was a testament of IG's strategic dominance and individual skill on every level, rising up to the expectations of that roster. For RNG, the match was a big setback, leaving us wondering about the future of Milky Way, a highly estimated and anticipated jungler to make his sophomore return with a strong performance in the 2024 Spring Split, where he earned the title of Rookie of the Split. His return to RNG was highly anticipated, but unfortunately his performance in the Demacia Cup was lackluster. If anything, IG's firepower sends a strong message to the other teams in the competition: catch up or get caught out.
Also, a strong message to Kadril that maybe he could be hopeful again about the Shy, his boy. Moving on to day 4, this was today's group. Anyone's Legend dominated Group A, highlighted by the addition of their new jungler Tarzan, known as a cerebral jungler in the LPL. Joining Anyone's Legend in December 2024, brought a new style to the team in their match against In their match against OMG, Anyone's Legend showcased better strategic execution, leading to a decisive victory. Tarzan's presence in the jungle was instrumental, facilitating aggressive plays and securing objectives that set the pace for that game. The Demacia Cup offers fans a preview of what lies ahead for the LPL in 2025, setting the stage for an even more competitive season. Keep up with this year's last League of Legends esports tournament, unofficially broadcast by former LPL talent and content producers turned fans. Please... going too far ahead in the copy. I'm sure we got most of that correctly on the first try. Maybe we'll do it again. And we're going to get a look at the MVP for our last game of the group stage. It is actually Wako. Nicely done on the Ashe. Very aggressive looks for him. Really nice flashes to secure some of the last few plays there.
I mean, not dying in a game we were going up against Viego, Akali, and under a lot of pressure. I do think that Wako showed a pretty good performance. So good to see from him. Of course, a new addition from the PCS as Ultra Prime looks to incorporate him and Wangzhan, as well as a couple dev pieces that they had into this new 2025 lineup. And while it didn't look too hot for the majority of this group, it did look good for that last game against Super Gaming.
No notes on my end, Cubby. This was fun. Any overall takes from you from our first week of Demacia Cup and the group stage that we saw?
Ooh, I gotta say, I thought IG and Anyone's Legends were quite dominant in their groups. I think IG was arguably tested a little bit more. But I'm excited to see them go up against some real competition, as of course those top LPL teams were waiting the victors of these groups to face later on, and we should have a pretty killing top 8 bracket once we get into this tournament, which I'm excited to watch. I think I'm really hoping to see Anyone's Legends go up against someone like IG later on in the tournament. Could lead for some very exciting matches with two teams that have different looks, and two teams that people are very hopeful for when it comes to their chances of going international in 2025.
Yep. For fans at home that might be wondering what the playoff bracket stage is going to look like, do you have that information to disclose at this time?
Let me go pull it up from the fandom. So bracket that we got coming up here, it is as follows. The top side of the bracket, Weibo Gaming are going to face EDG, and BLG will face Anyone's Legends. As a note, it's not BLG's starting lineup, as they are off, given they played the most games of any team in the past calendar year. I think that's well deserved. That said, if we want AL versus IG, it's going to have to be in the finals, because the lower side of the bracket, it is LNG against Thunder Talk and Top Esports going up against IG. That's the matchup that I'm most looking forward to. That, I think, is going to be a true banger. Of course, these are best of 3s for the quarterfinals. Semis and finals will be best of 5.
Yep. Well, I believe that does it for us on our end, Cubby. I don't know if there's any other content pieces or graphics that we have loaded up. I'm going to double check with our awesome producer, Nick, here. But if we've got nothing else, just want to say this was a blast to cast with you again, Cubby. I think we were
a pleasure, man.
super overdue. I don't know how we never got a chance to cast officially in either NACL or even LCS the couple times that you got a chance to guest on the broadcast. And also, there were multiple times we told each other, hey, we should practice cast together. And that never happened, unfortunately.
I mean, you didn't have to reveal that one. We did some stuff together. But yeah, it was a pleasure, Raafaa. And shout out to anyone and everyone supporting this stream for LPL English. The plan is to continue coverage of the Demacia Cup into the LPL season as well. It's been a huge opening 4 days for us. We'll have a sub button soon. And excited to see what happens with this channel as we do our best to bring the LPL action to you with our big team and very talented team behind the scenes. Shout out to everyone who's helping us out.
And big credit and thanks to our team as well. So many talented and passionate people behind the scenes. Obviously, there's not only returning LPL alumni that are helping keeping, a similar broadcast product alive in the new landscape that we're approaching in 2025, but also even more passionate people who are ready to, put their foot in and put in the work to continue delivering a product that are either completely new to the LPL or have been working with the LPL for quite some time in the past and returning to make it a product that is still, can be loved and cherished and enjoyed by an audience. So just honestly, it's a pleasure to be a part of that team and everyone else here.
Yeah, I go the same. A lot of people behind the scenes you don't see on camera helping us out as well. So extra shout outs go to them. And that's it for me, Raafaa. It's been a fun couple days covering the group stage. Excited for more action coming soon for quarterfinals. As those games, I will say, will be played starting on Monday, the 23rd. So we're going to have a bit of a break, but starting next week, we'll have plenty of action for you guys.
So everyone, enjoy your weekend. Hope the holidays are not insanely stressful and you're getting a chance to spend time with your loved ones. I know old man here, Cubby on my right, is going to be flying back home to spend time with his loved ones. So I believe this is it we're seeing from you on the broadcast, Matt?
Yeah, probably. It's been fun, though.
Oh, hell yeah. Well, gonna miss you, but thank you for giving us the chance to cast together once again. And for everyone else at home, thank you for tuning in and keep each other safe and, stay healthy and love you all. Have a good night or good morning.